One of the questions that came up, which I'll begin with, is about anxiety. The question said, I feel anxiety in many situations. Is anxiety a bad thing? First of all, what's most important to remember is nothing that we experience is bad. The only bad thing is thinking that what we feel is bad. Because then what we do is we end up separating ourselves from ourselves. We all want to be good. We want to be good people. We want to act in good ways, think in good ways. And so the minute that we label something inside of us as bad, we've cut ourselves off from it. And the whole point of a spiritual practice is integration, union, oneness. When we talk about yoga, yoga is oneness, union. So nothing is bad. Certain things we feel elevate us, help us get in touch with the truth of who we are, the divinity of ourselves, the divinity of the universe. They take us into the realm in which everyone is one. Some things we feel bring us down. They take us out of the beautiful spiritual realm into the flesh. Not bad. Nonetheless, most of us on a spiritual path would rather be in a place of experiencing oneness and union and love and consciousness than in this tunnel-visioned, tunnel experience of greed or lust or anger. So when we look at anxiety, it's not bad. So that's the first and most important thing. It's not bad. However, what does anxiety do? It makes our heart race. I mean, there's a physiological component to anxiety. It's not only emotional. When we feel stressed, when we feel anxious, our heart rate rushes, our blood pressure goes up. All of the energy of our body literally rushes to the extremities. It's our fight or flight syndrome. We literally, biologically, Darwinianly, are primed and ready in that moment to either fight or flee. That's the fight or flight nervous system response. And it's very, very useful. If you were living in a cave and you had to protect your cave from tigers or bears or warring tribes who were coming at you with spears. But it's not very helpful in the world we live in. You need that rush of adrenaline, you need that anxiety, that pumping heart to be able to outrun a bear or a tiger, to be able to fight off a warring faction, to be able to climb a tree. It's good stuff for a very short period of time when our lives are threatened. But the places that most of us feel anxiety today is everywhere and every day. Social situations, parties, friends, work, public speaking, presenting ourselves, going on a date. I mean, it's like everything that happens in our life brings up anxiety. So life has become a life or death, fight or flight situation. And that's where it becomes troublesome. Because we cannot be living in a state of openness and expansion and simultaneously a state of running or fighting. Either the world is something to be afraid of, or the world is something to be one with. Can't be both. And so every minute that we feel anxiety, what that's telling us on a physiological level is, this situation is dangerous. And that's not a very healthy way to live. So the question then becomes, how do we remove the anxiety? How do we stop feeling anxious? Well, we've talked about this a lot in here. The anxiety that we feel stems from the illusion that we are what we look like, that we are how we perform, that we are what other people think of us. And the minute we can get beyond that, then whether someone laughs at our jokes or smiles at us or tells us we're fat and stupid or asks us out on a second date, it's not about who we are. And so it doesn't create that level of anxiety. So every time you feel anxious, ask yourself, is this really life and death? Is this really a situation where I want to separate myself from the world? And if not, then ask yourself how you can expand how you think of yourself. Ground yourself in your breath. Try to experience a state of oneness with the people around you rather than a sense of separation. Because where there's oneness, there's no fear. Where there's fear, it's because we feel separation. So anxiety is not bad, but it takes us from the truth of who we are. And on a spiritual path, we want to go closer to the truth of who we are.